So then, our first design is a lovely one by Flame, and some of you who know this channel longer may have seen this already, seeing as I did use this for quite a while. Flame has had this design for quite a long time, and to be honest, I can't blame him. It's a very, very nice design. So it is a Cobalt Octane. So let me just flick through the items here. So we have a Cobalt Octane on the blue side, and we have a Crimson Octane on the orange side. So nice little red design there. Then we have, as a decal, we have the Shisa, or any other decal also works if you also want that. So if you want to have it with an Abstruse, that also works perfectly fine, or anything else that you want. Then we have a dark blue matte primary. So this really helps like make the primary dark. And then we have a nice cobalt anodized as the secondary, and this is used to match the painted octane. So then on the red side, we have a dark matte paint primary, and then we have a bright red secondary, which is anodized again to match the painted octane. So that's really super good. As the wheels, we have black painted Daichis. I'm unfortunately poor, so I don't have black painted Daichis, but this is what he does use. So there you go. For the boost, he uses Alpha Boost. If you don't have that, I'd recommend going for Crimson Standard on the red side, which would look like this on the red side, and Standard Blue on the blue side. And I do actually think that Flame uses this, so I think that's why I probably ticked it. It's just that I had Alpha Boost on, so yeah, I think that looks really super nice, so that's really cool. For the trails, I just use a Cobalt Luminous and a Red Ruckus, which is red anyways. If you don't want to use this, you can also just use Classic, seeing as purple is like red and blue, so that does kind of work if you want to use the Classic boost instead. I would recommend using any Cobalt and any Crimson trails that you might have, and just slapping them on the car. So yeah, there you go. And that is our first design with Flame. Let's move on to our next design, which is a Fennec design. Alrighty, so for our next design, we have one from Team Vitality. Wow, it's an actual Vitality design. I was actually thinking that I would never, ever, ever have to make one of these because they all just use their esports decals or cars that can't have decals. But yeah, Ferry Peak used this in the EU Championship Sunday in a few matches of his. Not the last ones because he used the Batmobile, but this is the Fennec design he used. And I actually love this design. He uses such a weird decal that I wanted to use for such a long time, but I couldn't really find a good application for it. And I think he uses it in quite a standardized way, which is probably how most people would use it. But I think that's fine because it does look really cool and really unique. So let's just go through the car. So we have a normal Fennec as the car. And I am a Fennec main, by the way, now. So yeah, sorry for everybody I've disappointed. And hello, Fennec mains, I'm one of you now. So we're using the Wyvern decal. Now, this is a Rocket Pass decal, so if you have not got this, I don't think you can get it still. I'm not sure if it was this Rocket Pass or not, and I'm way too lazy to check now, so just have a look where you can find it. So yeah, it's the Wyvern decal, and I really wanted to use this decal, but I do think with white it looks very, very nice, so that's pretty cool. So for the blue side, he uses a bright blue, so this is like a bright, the brightest blue, I would say, in the game. And then he uses a white secondary. And then for the red side, he uses a bit more of a maroon color, which is the top right. And then he uses a white secondary, which is really, really nice. Also, another unorthodox choice that he makes on this car is he uses Neptune wheels, which I actually have to say, I love the Neptune wheels, and I'm really surprised why no one uses them, because in black they look really nice, and in titanium white they look really super nice. So these were my favorite budget wheels for a time. And I did use them in a few of my other videos, so if you may have seen those, then I recommend to check them out. And yeah, I don't know how the pricing is now. They're probably super expensive, but back in the day, they were like almost nothing. So I'm really happy to see that Ferry Peak is using these, because I do think they are very, very solid wheels. So those are the black Neptunes. For the boost, he uses Alpha Boost, because if you have it, why wouldn't you use it? I would recommend, if you have any titanium white boosts, that you can use those, or if you have any black boosts, or like say for example also like on the Flame car, if you have a standard blue, that would match really well to this blue. And if you don't, then try to just use a neutral boost that you like to use. So yeah, for the trail, he does use a grey Laser Wave 3. I'm not sure if it was a white one. It could have been a titanium white one. But I like using the grey one more because if you have it on high quality settings, then the grey doesn't shine as much and doesn't get in your way. And I think that's what they were using on the broadcast. So I do think he uses grey. If anyone knows, like really knows and has proof, please correct me on this. But grey or titanium white works very well. If you don't have the Laser Wave 3 because it is an old Rocket Pass item, you can use like a luminous, or you can use a friction or anything that's titanium white. That works well as well. So yeah, that is the Fairy Peak car design, and let's move on to more Fennec designs. Yay! And now we get to a design that I was very surprised at. I saw this design and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So that's why I decided to include it in this video. So yeah, we have ViolentPanda's Fennec design. So this is a really awesome design, I think, because he does actually use Black Reapers, which I was surprised at, because I thought at first when I was watching back the whole RLCS broadcast to do research for this episode, I was like, oh, I think they're titanium white, I think they're black, and then there was like a side-on shot. And I noticed they were black, and I was like, hey, I have Black Reapers, so why not? There's a big Reaper hype going around at the moment. I don't know why, to be honest, because I don't really like the wheels. But yeah, I mean, if you guys like them, then use them. I mean, hey, if they make you speedy, then why not use them, right? So this is his design. It is very basic, which is also perfectly fine, because I'm just here to show you what the pro players use. Wow, that was weird. And I don't want to just be using esports decals and normal colors. So yeah, I was actually thinking about which person I would include from Dignitas, but then I saw that Jorez literally just used a standard Octane with just a different paint. Like, that was it. He just used like a red instead of an orange, and that was it. And I was like, okay, let's go for ViolentPanda. So anyway, let's get into the car. We have a normal Fennec, an unpainted Fennec, and I do think a lot of pros use unpainted Fennecs, which is pretty cool. I think if there was a black Fennec, that would be hella cool, but no, Sonics doesn't want that. Right, we're not using a Heatwave. I don't know why it's selected Heatwave. We're using a Bluster Bar. So this is the decal. It's pretty minimalistic, but it's also pretty cool, because if you use it in black, it really fades in nicely with the car. For the paint finishes, we're going everything glossy, and we're doing the darkest blue and black, and we're doing the darkest red and black. So pretty standard pro settings there. For the wheels, we're using Black Reapers. Now, if you have normal Reapers, one thing you can do is maybe use more of a golden secondary. If you're into that, you can do that. Or if you have any other wheels, or like Cristiano's, you can use those too. But Black Reapers are the wheels that ViolentPanda did use. Alpha Boost is being used, of course, because why not? And he has a classic trail, so nothing really exciting there. If you do want to spice up this car a bit, one thing I can recommend is using a black trail, seeing as that matches, I mean, you can't really see it that well here, but that does match the Reapers. And if you want to go full emo, then you can also use like a black standard boost, or you can use something like that, and that works fine as well. Or if you have a grey one, also perfectly fine. Yeah, that was ViolentPanda's car. So let's move on to our next one, which I think is very surprising. So now we come to our BDS design, which probably some of you will be disappointed in. Before you start arguing, if you want the Mark by 8 design with his Dune Racer, check out my Dune Racer design video, because I have it in there. This is also why I didn't choose his design for this video. So if you want that, head over to that other video after you've watched this one and check that out. So yeah, this is the M0nkeyM00n design. Now, you're not seeing wrong. This is a pro player's design, not someone who's just started playing the game, as some of you might think it is. So this was really weird, because I wanted to feature this because I was just surprised that M0nkeyM00n uses this design. I mean, it's very basic, but it's also very weird in a sense, because it's not just like dark colors and then like stripes or no decal, you know? And he doesn't use black wheels, he uses like standard OEMs, which I was like, oh, okay. Which is also starting to become a trend because Jorez also uses normal OEMs. So, don't know if that's a trend or not. Doesn't really matter because everybody has OEMs, so they're not going to go up in price or anything because the pros don't use black ones, they just use the standard ones. So, I don't think the price, like, trading market won't be affected by it, but hey, whatever. Yeah, so this is also really interesting because of the decal, so let's jump right in. We have a non-painted Octane. We have the Tech decal, which is something that everybody who has the Octane also has, so everyone. So this is basically a design, however your collection is at the moment. So if you've just started playing the game and you pick the Octane on your cars, or if you are a pro, or if you have 2 million hours in this game, everyone can make this car, yay! Except for it has the anodized paint finish. Didn't think about that, did I? Anyway, we have the Tech decal, so this is a very cool decal that no one uses nowadays. It is a very cool decal. I always never use it because it's very, like, messy. But hey, if this is your kind of thing with all the panels and all the wiring, then that is pretty damn cool, and I think it looks very, very nice here. For the paint finishes, we're going with a darkened blue. So that's like a darkened sky blue cobalt color for the primary. That is anodized, and then we have a black glossy as the secondary. So that is super duper there. And then for the red side, I didn't see his red side during the stream. Maybe it did pop up and I just didn't see it. But I had a go at it, and I made like a dark orangey. It'll probably this color. It'll probably be like a dark orangey red. So that's just what I would say. If you want to be really safe, or if you just want to have like a nice car, then you would probably just go dark red. But I just chose this just to spice it up a bit. So there you go. So that is anodized, of course, on the primary, and on the secondary we have a black glossy. There we go. For the wheels, as I said already, we're just using standard OEMs. No paints, no grey, no nothing, just standard OEMs. Wow. So that's a pretty cool car. If you want to make that yourself, go for it. For the boost, he does use alpha boost. You can use sparkles, you can use just a normal standard if you want to. You can use yellow standard, which I know that people in Epic Games don't have this, which I think is pretty stupid why they just didn't give people the free items that everybody else has. But I guess it's a legacy item, so whatever. For the trail, he does use classic trail, so pretty standard there. You might think this is a very boring car, but I just wanted to feature it because he uses the Tech decal, which I haven't seen at all. And I know a lot of people come to these videos because they want to learn about pro cars and say like, oh, I saw this on stream and how do you make this? So this is what I want to do. And I thought this was one of the more unique designs that people might ask what the decal is. So that's why I featured it here. Let's get on to our last design, which is actually 2 players in 1. What? Amazing. Let you go now. Let you go, let you go, let you go now. Let you go, let you go, let you go now. Let you go, let you go, let you go now. Let you go, let you go, let you go now. So, if you're a Guild fan, and Guild have actually been doing really well recently, so I hope you guys are, you might have noticed that Noly and those cars look kind of similar during the whole EU regionals that happened a few days ago, and just because they almost are the same car. So I will show variations. There's actually only one variation, which is the orange side primary color, because they do differ quite a bit. But for the blue side, we're staying the same. And to be honest, I can't blame them. The design's nice, and I've seen a lot of people use this design. This isn't a new design or anything, so it's not too special. But I wanted to show this because, hey, if someone wants to... If someone's favorite player is Noly or Th0, and they want... I never know how to pronounce that. And they want to make this car, then here you are. So last time we had 2 Justin designs, and in the NA episode, which happened quite a while ago, and this time we have 2 players in 1 design, so I'm kind of balancing it out, you know, so all good. So Noly and Th0, what have they got? They have an anodized Fennec, which looks very, very nice. A lot of people do use this. And for the orange side, they use a color variation. So the primary variation will be at the end. So keep tuned for that. If you are a Noly or Th0 fan, I will explain the differences. So yeah, let's get into the car. Let me stop waffling. So we have a normal unpainted Fennec as always. Then we have no decal on this one because we want to keep it nice and clean. That's how we do things around here. For the primary, we have a dark purple anodized. Now, I did want to go one darker, but I think looking at the stream, they have just one lighter, or they could also have this purple primary, so you can do that how you want. We have anodized pearl on that, so we have the nice orange sheen coming through, which is very, very nice. So for speaking of the orange sheen, we have a secondary orange, which will be anything you want because there's no decal on it. It doesn't really matter what paint finish you do it. So I just like to use glitter because I'm very sparkly and fancy like that. It really doesn't make a difference. As you can see, the car looks exactly the same, so all good there. For the orange side, I was going to say secondary. I don't know why I wanted to say that. For the orange side, we have anodized pearl, and we have like a dark yellow. And we have a purple primary, so that is on the other side, and glossy. Now, the variation between the two is that Noly uses like a yellowy, so it's like a goldish color, and Th0 uses like an orange color. So that would be if you would use Th0's design, and that would be if you use Noly's design. So that is the slight color variation. I also think it's kind of funny that they're both like right next to each other. It could also be that it's a lighter orange, but it looked very, very orange on my screen. So any preference you want, if you do want it a bit lighter, then you can do that. You can also pick this color if you like both of them, because then it's a bit more yellowy and a bit more orangey. So yeah, super, super duper. So that is the colors for those. So that is Noly's and that is Th0's, or one darker. And I think this is the correct one. So there we go. It is hard to know because they don't offer specs or anything on the car designs, which I would find great if they did that, but whatever. For the wheels, we're using Cristiano's, which is the pro favorite. You can now get Cristiano's just in crates and everything, so have fun with that. For the boost, they do use Alpha Boost. Now, of course, I have a solution for you if you don't have an Alpha Boost, which probably all of you don't, so all good. You can use a yellow standard if you are a legacy player. If you are not a legacy player, just use any yellow saffron boost that you find. Or you can also use a black boost if you have one, or you can also use a purple boost because that works well as well, especially on this side. You can also use orange boosts. You can also just use the normal standard boost. That works fine as well, so don't worry about that. For the trail, we do use classic, and this is probably what most pro players use because the boost is, like, if they use alpha boost, then it's like a yellowy orange. And if they use the classic trail, then it's a purple. This is also why most pro players have a purple and orange car design, because then it just naturally matches the two boosts and trails that the pro players just use all the time. So that is a little tidbit of information for you there. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to leave a like and sub if you really like this. And yeah, if you want me to do more of these in the future with other regions, I'd love to have a look at OCE designs. I'd love to have a look at South American designs. So if you want to see those, then definitely leave a like on the video so that I know that you guys want to see this in the future. If you haven't, follow me on Discord, follow me on Twitter. Well, not follow me on Discord, but join the Discord because the Discord is popping. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. And peace.